everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be filming my O.W.L.s Readathon TBR. So the O.W.L.s Readathon is a month-long readathon, I believe, and it's hosted by G from Book Roast, so I will leave her channel down below for you if you want to check her announcement video out and if you want more details about the read-along itself. But yeah, it's focused obviously on your ordinary wizarding levels, which if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you know that they're exams that you take in Hogwarts, which is really cool and I love the idea of it. So bless her, G went to so much effort this year for this readathon and she even made like printouts. So I have the advised revision topics here just so I know what the prompts are again because I'm very forgetful. Yeah, I don't know if you can see on my laptop, there you go, but the career that I have chosen is Magizoologist. I think that's how you say it. Basically, a zoologist for magical creatures. And that couldn't be more me, if I'm honest. So it says the key traits are care, gentleness and perception. And then the owls that you need are care of magical creatures, charms, herbology and potions. And that's what I've got for you today. So for the first owl, which is care of magical creatures, the prompt is the book has to have a land animal on the cover, and this fits in beautifully. So basically I started reading this book in November of 2018 I believe, and then I got a few pages in and for some reason I put it down and I never picked it up, and I think it's because the last book in the series is coming out later on this year, so I didn't want to read it and forget, but now it's close enough that I feel like it's a good time to read it, and that is God's Grave by J. Christoph. Wow, I loved Nevernight. Like, I think that book was one of my favourite books of last year, definitely. And I definitely think that this series is going to be one of my absolute favourite series ever, so, you know, big statements there. Yeah, but like I said, I did get a little bit into it, but I don't really remember anything. So I think I'm going to start it again, so that it'll count. And basically, this has a wolf on the cover, plus a cat, definitely land animals, so that's cool. The second owl exam that I need to take is Charms, and let me just double check what Charms was again. So that is age line, read an adult work. Again, this fits in really good with sort of my reading at the minute, but the book I've chosen for this prompt is A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. Now you might be thinking, Rhiannon, what the hell are you doing choosing a 900 page book for a month-long readathon? Well, I am participating in the A Song of Ice and Fire read-along, and it's part of the Catch-Up Book Club, I believe is the name, and it's hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books. I will also leave her channel link down below. And yeah, so this is the second book, and basically in January and February we had to read A Game of Thrones, and then March and April we have to read A Clash of Kings. Stupidly, I left this until the month of April, so I have a month to get through this. However, I hope the read-along will help me, but I'm not sure because I do have exams coming up. I also have assignments that are due in the end of April, start of May, so maybe reading will take a little bit of a back seat as I'm trying to study, because obviously university is quite important, so I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, hopefully I will be able to read this. If not, I will have to just read 2 of them in 2 months after my exam finish, which I will have a lot more time, so it's more manageable, but yeah, we'll see. So the next owl that I need is Herbology, and that is to read a book with a plant on the cover. So I have gone for The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. The only problem with this is that I've heard so many mixed reviews and currently a lot more negative reviews, and I see why, because again, I did start this but I only got about 2 chapters in and I sort of gave up because it was so confusing. So I'm not too sure if I'll actually like this. I do have a backup though, which I will show you in a sec. But yeah, I'm not too sure, but I do really want to read it, so that's why I thought I could include it in this read along, so then I'd kind of have to read it. And yeah, I don't know, it's a bit, maybe that's cheating a bit, maybe I won't enjoy it as much if I'm forcing myself to read it, but obviously I did want to read it, so this would just be a really good opportunity to do so. And then if that didn't work out, I was going to read The Waking Land by Callie Bates. Another one that I've been meaning to read for so long, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I will leave the links for the Goodreads pages of all the books I talk about down below, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. So yeah, I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to read yet. I do really want to try The Gilded Wolves, but if I can't and if I need more time to actually get into the story and feel absorbed, then I might just read this one instead. And the last O.W.L.s exam that I need to complete is Potions, and I'll just double check the prompt for this one because I'm not sure. Yeah, so it says Potions, next ingredient, sequel. So, I have chosen Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So I'm currently halfway through Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and I'm really loving it. So this read along was sort of a perfect excuse to pick it up. Also, there are a few people doing a read along for these books that I sort of am participating in. The only two that I know off the top of my head are Books with Chloe and Kaz from Little Book Owl. It's basically read each of the books from this series for 4 months. So it was the first one for March, the second one for April, the third one will be in May, and then Night of Cake and Puppets, which is sort of like a spin-off. I don't know if it's a spin-off. It's in the same sort of series, sort of world, will be the last book that they read in June. Yeah, June. So yeah, so I am kind of participating in that because I've wanted to read this series for a while, and again, this fits in with this read along. So I thought I'd kind of cheat and be able to complete 2 things at once. So yeah, that'll be really cool. I haven't finished the first book like I said, but I'm really loving it so far. It took me a little bit to get into it, but now that I'm into it, it's just like, I don't want to put it down. It's that good. So yeah, I just want to be able to dive straight into this one, and so I'm really glad that I can. Right, so now that I've shown you the O.W.L.s that I need to complete and that I basically have to complete if I want to become a magizoologist, I have, I think, 3 books here that I kind of really want to get to this month, but if I don't, then it's obviously not that important. It's just like, if I could, I would like to, sort of thing. It's to do with the prompts again, and I will just show you them quickly. There's no real order to this, by the way. It's just sort of whatever I saw that was on my TBR shelf that I needed to read and that could fit into this read along. That's what I've sort of gone for. So yeah, no real organisation to this at all. So the next O.W.L.s that I'm going for is Ancient Runes, and that is to read a retelling. And for this, I might have chosen wrong here because this is a big book and I've heard that it's pretty dense, but it is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I read Uprooted by her, God, it must have been 2-3 years ago now, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't like my favourite book, but I thought the magic element, the wizard sort of character was really interesting. So hopefully this will be just as interesting and compelling and mysterious. I don't know, it was really cool reading Uprooted because Naomi's writing is just like amazing. It's so good, like it's just beautiful. But yeah, I've heard mixed reviews about this, that it's quite dense, that you don't know whose POVs you're reading because it's quite confusing, so yeah, we'll see. But this is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. That is all I know. Haven't really read anything else about it, just because I don't want to. Like I say, I like to go into books not really having expectations and not really knowing much about them because I like to be pleasantly surprised, or if I don't like it, then, you know, it's nothing major. I'm just like, oh right, I don't like it. It's nothing to do with the hype. So a lot of fantasy authors have blurbed this book on the back as well. So you've got Robin Hobb, Patrick Rothfuss, John Gwynne, Tamora Pierce, Cassandra Clare, which is a bit, okay, she's not known for fantasy, but, you know, well, I mean, she does write urban fantasy, but not, like, fantasy. Am I making sense? Probably not. There we go. But yeah, this is just an extra pick. I've been meaning to get to it for a while. I bought it, like, I think I pre-ordered it, so I've had it for a while now, and I just really want to get to it as soon as, so if I can fit it into this read along, it would be brilliant. So the next Owls that I've gone for is Transfiguration, and that is to read a book with sprayed edges or a red cover, and for this I have gone for Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell Preto, and this has purple sprayed edges, so I think this came in an Owl Crate box, and it was already sprayed, so brilliant. Otherwise I would not have an option for this prompt, so I'm glad. But yeah, I've been really intrigued to read this, so again, if I can, I would love to get to it. And then the last book that I have actually fits into two categories, sort of. I'll show you why in a minute. So the one I chose it for was Divination, and the prompt for that is a book set in the future. And I chose this book, but then I wasn't quite sure if it was set in the future. But anyway, that book is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I believe it is because it said like that humanity is failing. Again, don't really know much about it, which is why I want to get to it, because I've heard good things. I thought it was set in the future, but again, I'm not too sure. But then I found a little loophole. The title, right? Skyward, Claim the Stars. We have a separate prompt for the word stars. So this book can also work for astronomy, and that is for a book to have star in the title. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is safe to read for the readathon. But that is it for my Owls Magical Readathon TBR. Please let me know down below if you're participating, what you're reading, if you're reading the same things that I am, if you've found a few loopholes to get the books that you want to read into your TBR. Yeah, just anything about it really. Like I said, I will leave all the channels that I mentioned down below, and also the Goodreads pages for the books, so you can check it out for yourself. Other than that, I hope you guys have a magical month. I just want to say thank you to G. I don't know her personally, but the effort she's put into this readathon is absolutely mind-blowing, so yeah, I'm so thankful. This is my first year participating as well, so it's really cool. So that is it for me today, guys. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you'd like to see more of me. It would mean the absolute world to me. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!